So it's like 5:30 in the morning and I'm not falling asleep to save my fucking life. So I decided to make a little video. Try to keep it short and sweet, just a little quick overview, a little biography, a little history of the band Tool. Tool is an American metal band that was formed in Los Angeles in 1990. Their original lineup: Maynard James Keenan on vocals, Adam Jones on guitar, Paul D'aumor on bass, and Danny Carey on drums. Paul D'aumor, the original bassist, was later replaced by Justin Chancellor. I believe it was between the Undertow and Aenima album. He wasn't on Undertow, but he was on Aenima. Aenima was the first album he was on with that band, and Justin Chancellor is still their bassist today. But they formed in Los Angeles in 1990, and they were all mutual friends or mutually acquainted with the frontman from Green Jello, Bill Manspeaker, and Danny Carey actually played drums a little bit in that band, and also Maynard Keenan did backup vocals on occasion in that band. So, needless to say, if it wasn't for Bill Manspeaker of Green Jello, Tool never would have happened, so be sure to thank him. But their road to success, once they got together and formed their band, started happening pretty quick. I think it was within like 6 months of just playing clubs around the Los Angeles area. They had record companies hunting them down, and after, I think it was 6 months or so, they got signed to a deal, signed to a big label. And first album they made, it actually wasn't full length. It was just a short album. It was an EP album, Opiate. And then followed that, Opiate came out in 1992. Opiate, I almost said 1993. Opiate came out in 1992. And then followed up by that, a year later, the first full-length album, Undertow, was released in 1993. Ugh, getting a fucking tongue-tied here. It's 5:30 in the morning, give me a break. But Undertow, that had a couple big hits like Sober and Prison Sex, the ones everybody knows. I think it went platinum after a year or so. I mean, it did really well for just the first release album, And I know for the music video to Prison Sex, MTV banned that video from being played after only just a few airings because they were said it was like too vulgar, or just because of the issues that kind of circulated around. And but interestingly enough, though, especially on like those early music videos, Adam Jones, the guitar player, he was like in charge of all of their artwork. He directed all their early music videos, all that stuff. And then their second full-length album, Aenima, however you want to pronounce it, that was released in 1996, and that album was actually dedicated to the late comedian Bill Hicks. Not sure exactly what the story was there. Maynard was kind of acquainted with him. I don't think they ever actually met in person, but I knew like they somehow got in touch, like they talked to each other quite a bit. They always wanted to do like a tour together and all that stuff, but he died not too long before the release of the Aenima album. Aenima was when they were still coming up. They were really starting to get some recognition, and that had, this big songs on it like 46 and 2 and Stinkfist. And I believe they won, I can't tell you what they were, but I believe they won a couple awards for that album. And then after a little break there, and then after that I think they had a lawsuit and yada yada yada, and it wasn't again until 2001 they released another album, Lateralus, which that was the album that really, if anything, blew them up into the mainstream, especially with Schism. That was like the biggest song off that album. And interesting thing about that album, I can't tell you if it's a song. It's the song Lateralus, the mass sequence, the Fibonacci sequence. The first like 5 lines or so in that song are in accordance with that sequence. What the Fibonacci sequence is, it's like take 2 numbers, add them together. Okay, like 3 and 5. Okay, the next one would be 8. Okay, so 8 and 5 is 13, whatever, I don't know, you get what I'm saying. But And that was the album where they really started experimenting a little more, like, artistically and progressively. That's when they really started becoming more progressive. You kind of saw it coming in Aenima when you listened to that, like that was the direction they were going in. But Lateralus, they really took it and kind of to a different level, and that's probably their best album. A lot of people, by majority opinion, that's probably going to be the best Tool album, is Lateralus. And then, with no further ado, after that, Lateralus came out in 2001. That was followed up by 10,000 Days, which came out in 2006. Yeah, 2006. And that album was kind of different. There was still definitely a lot of experimentation on there, and there was actually a couple more straightforward, like, shit on there. Some, like, straightforward, more radio-friendly songs, like The Pot and Vicarious. And then tie that in with a lot of other, like, experimental kind of stuff. But where they came up with the name for that album was actually Maynard Keenan's mom. She had, like, a partial stroke or something when she was young, and she was like half her body was paralyzed, and she was in a lot of pain. She had a lot of medical problems, and they named it 10,000 Days because I think it was something to equal to like 25 years of suffering or something like that. That's how many days are in 20, 25, 30 years, however many. But yeah, and that's with that. And even in between all that stuff, after the release of Aenima, their second full-length album, Tool took a little break, and Maynard ended up starting a side project with one of the guitar techs, Billy Howardell, and they formed a Perfect Circle, and a Perfect Circle got really big. And yeah, kind of drawing a blank right now. I don't got notes or anything. I'm just fucking trying to spitball here. But clearly I need to learn to be a little more fucking articulate. But yeah, last album was 10,000 Days, and that's been 2006. That has been almost 11 fucking years ago since they made a goddamn album. Is that shit not fucking crazy? Like, what the hell have they been doing? Oh, lawsuits, this and that. Blah, blah, blah. Maynard's been doing his shit with fucking Pussifer this whole time. That's like his main project now, which Pussifer's cool too, don't get me wrong. That'd be an awesome concert to go see. Same with the Perfect Circle. I'm actually going to see those guys. It's January right now. I'm actually going to see a Perfect Circle in April 20th. Happy 420s, ladies and gentlemen. I will be seeing a Perfect Circle in St. Louis, Missouri. But yeah, that pretty much wraps that up. I know I didn't go into like grave detail on anything. Like I said, I just couldn't sleep. I was bored. I wanted to make a fucking video. Didn't have time. Didn't feel like taking notes or anything. So anything I got wrong or anything I missed, by all means, feel free to fucking comment down below. I'm not gonna hate. I'll shake your fucking virtual hand and say thank you for correcting me. But yeah, so that about chalks that up. That's my little biography of Tool. Good thing I'm not an author, because that would be a shitty fucking half-assed book. Take it easy.